Hi everyone, welcome back for another exciting and spooky episode of, well, hopefully exciting and spooky episode of Most Haunted Season 1. This week we are on episode 16, which is the second last episode. I feel like I've been saying we've been coming up to the end of the season for about the last 10 episodes, but we actually are getting to the end of Season 1, so welcome back, or thank you for joining me if this is your first video that you're seeing. For those who don't know, my name is Stephen. I am watching Season 1 of Most Haunted and doing a little reaction to it. I have seen these before, many years ago, so it's pretty much a fresh viewing. I think there's only a couple of bits that we've seen so far that I've actually recognised. So it's been a fun little watch so far. Last week we were in Aldwych Station and we had Yvette and Jason dressed up in military garb. And then Derek decided that there had been mole people living in there at some point. Not just, I'm not saying that in like a derogatory way. I don't know how it could be derogatory, but you never know. He said there were people who had been evolving differently that lived down there. And that went absolutely nowhere. So this week we may be in for something a bit crazy as well. I'm particularly excited because, as you know, I don't know anything about this going into it, but I know we're in a castle in Ireland, right? And what is more ghost appropriate than a castle in Ireland or a castle in Scotland? Maybe a castle in England. We've had a few of them as well, but I'm excited to see hopefully some spooky Irish ghosts or spirits. So yes, without further ado, get yourself a drink, get yourself a snack, and let's get into the episode. Charlehill Forest.
I want mercy, and mercy has not been given.
24 hours in one of Ireland's most haunted castles, Charleville.
I like the way she said that. Charleville. Unseen edition. I think I say that every week.
Hello and welcome to Most Haunted.
I have seen Buffy Ann Summers wearing this exact outfit before. I am sure the red leather pants and the black top. That was definitely a promo image.
In our search to find somewhere where things literally go bump in the night, we've come to Ireland, to a place called Charlehill Forest Castle, where we're going to be locked in for 24 hours.
That was nice.
Charlehill Forest Castle is located in the centre of Ireland near the town of Tullamore. Charles William Bury, the first Earl of Charleville, built the castle in the 1700s over the top of an ancient Druid burial ground where people were buried alive to stop the spread of the plague.
So I think this is this the second mention of Druids that we've had in the show? I vaguely remember us looking at it or talking about this before. And it was probably in one of the kind of castle settings. Remember when it's like, oh, this goes back like 4,000 years? I remember that being a big part of the story. So interesting if we see anything familiar to us this time.
There's a labyrinth of dungeons that lie beneath the castle, though why they were used is not really clear. Many people over the years have encountered ghostly apparitions, glowing lights and noises. The sound of ghostly laughter to terrified screams. Would we experience anything similar?
Hopefully.
This is a beautiful castle.
Yes.
But a lot of the hauntings here are supposed to be around sounds. Why do you think that is?
Well, most commonly, haunted places are haunted, if you like, by sounds rather than apparitions and smells. Sounds are the more common phenomena that are reported.
What about a séance? Because we are going to do a séance tonight. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I wanted to reconstruct a typical Victorian séance here because we've not tried that before, as you say, as an experiment, if you like. We're going to have red lights set up.
What does that do?
Well, red lights, when sort of séance took off in the spiritualist heyday, which was in 1848, began in Hydesville in the USA, two sisters actually started knocking on tables and asking for responses, and things started to knock back, and that's really where séances took off from. And they used to use a red bulb.
It was a scam. The seances that started were a scam. Let's just let's just confirm that. I think they've been pretty much debunked, a lot of these kind of older Victorian ones that they were proven not to work. But do you know what? It doesn't mean they wouldn't still yield a result or try it.
There's room for everybody, let's just say that.
For the light.
I would
Now,
try
that was
it.
just coincidence, really, but that's what they used. And now seances are performed with red light. And the reason that people do that now is because they say the ectoplasm, which is the sort of substance that ghosts are supposed to be made of, is only seen by a human eye in red light conditions. So we've got 2 red lights here that we're going to set up, and hopefully we'll be able to see some ectoplasm tonight, if such a thing exists.
And I bet you nobody will be stay sitting at that table.
I'll stay sitting.
Well, you would, because
But
you're brave.
We've got one other experiment too that I'm not going to tell you about now, but it's quite an exciting one.
A surprise experiment. Okay, I have a few things here. One, I have to really point out the sort of the cinematography and the effects that they've used. Like hiding behind the trees, filming them here. It's a lot more structured than we usually get. Usually it's them like unloading the van and getting all their equipment out. I'm a little bit confused about the ectoplasm only being in red light circumstances. Oh, red light therapy. Maybe the ghost just needs some therapy for that. But it's how do they know that? And also, if we have records of people experiencing it, I'm sure it wouldn't have always been in like a red light environment. But do you know what? I feel like Jason's like, well,
Whatever that means.
well, let's see it. Oh look, there's still nothing. So he's just out for ectoplasm this week.
I've lived here for 12 years. We came over from the States. It was a fairy tale castle that was just going to ruin.
Property owner, we have lived here. We bought this castle 12 years ago. We came and bought this castle 12 years ago, came from the States and bought this castle in Ireland. Okay.
The rain was pouring in. It was just incredible. My son, when we came here, was very young. I'd say when he went missing, we were terrified because we had heard a story about a little girl falling off the stairwell. And sure enough, he was at the bottom of the stairs. And he said, "Don't worry, Mommy." He said, "A little boy and girl held my hand."
Oh, I really thought she was telling us her son had fallen down there far too many stairs after they bought this castle, which I still can't get past. They just flew over and bought a castle. But I'm glad their son didn't
And
fall
then
down
we started to hear voices outside our rooms, mumbling, not clear. You couldn't hear clearly what they were saying, but it was evident somebody else was there. And then right above my room was the children's nursery. And I woke one morning at 3 and heard children seemingly running and shouting and screaming. And I said, "Oh God, somebody's gotten in." So I took the torch and went upstairs. And there was absolutely no one. And that happened maybe 3-4 times in a row. And then it would happen just every so often. And there was never anyone there. And then we found out it was nursery, so it would be normal. There'd be like.
I thought for a second she meant it was their nursery, like their nursery was upstairs and they heard that, but no, if it was historically a nursery. Interesting.
Laughing. In some of the bedrooms, you'd hear a child crying. My little girl used to go and play with the little girl that fell from the stairwell, maybe when she was about 6. She'd say, "I'm going and playing." And she wasn't the type of child that makes up friends.
Let's jump off the
So
stairs.
I just didn't say anything, let her go and play. Then my mother is the one that saw them, actually.
Oh, she saw them?
The kids don't remember much of their vision of them, but she was in her bedroom on winter solstice, which we didn't know at the time. And she woke and thought my stepfather was crossing the room in a red robe until she realized he was asleep. And the man with the red was as clear as you and I, with a big red greatcoat. And then the little girl who had...
This is how poor I am, right? Not only am I shocked at someone being able to buy a castle, I don't know what a greatcoat is. A red greatcoat?
Had blue ribbons from her hair. They didn't say anything, and she kept watching. And then as she was looking, there appeared, she said anywhere from 15, 17 druids. It was a large number in hooded white cowls. And they all approached her bed, right around it, formed a circle, and all went like this. Now, they weren't as clear. They were, I guess maybe they're not as strong.
And then she
They all
died.
went like this to her. And then gradually all vanished.
Died.
She was very surprised. She was curious as to what they wanted. You know, would they maybe speak? Could we see why they were here? Who were they? There was an ancient Druid site here with the ancient forest, the oak forest. It was also a center for learning, so that could have been monks. Or this was a mason house, so it could have also been masons. So we don't know which category they were.
Sorry, I have to stop her again. I'm a little bit overwhelmed by how many things this has been. So the mum, or the kids had not imaginary friends, sorry, ghosts. They made friends with the ghosts, but no one saw anything. And then the mum, I can't say that. I can't make that joke. The mum had an encounter with 17 druids in the middle of the night, out of nowhere. The scariest bit to me is the white masks. I'm like, why? That sounds terrifying. I would have probably screamed, but maybe I wouldn't have. I don't know. I can't speak for this lady. But yeah, it's been a lot of sites. So it's been druidic, it's been monks, it's been a bit of everything, I think. Again, I have to wonder if part of this is open for the public, because it doesn't sound like it. It doesn't sound like it's like the castle part, if they're living in it. But it could be that part of it is open, so they might have an incentive to have a few druidic cults.
The little girl was the one that fell. Then when I was reading a book, I came across this. It was a bust of Francis Johnston, who was the architect of the castle. And it was him as a young man. She stopped me. She said, "That's the man in the red." So it was Francis Johnston in the red. Then several months later again, we found a book on the first Earl who had the castle built. She was again looking over my shoulder, and she said, "That's the man in the green." And he was the first Earl, Charles William Bury, and he had the castle built. When we have a good party,
Very involved,
people
this mother.
will report activity, things that have happened. A friend of Dudley's, who's a professor.
A friend of Dudley's, of course. When we all going for a party then? We better get an invite.
Very serious. The
Friend
children said to him after a party, they said, "You know, Richard wouldn't close his door, he wouldn't shut his light off. What was wrong with him? He's a grown-up." So he came down, and I said, "Richard, what's wrong?" He said, "Well," he said, "I wouldn't mind," he said, "except there were two English gentlemen, obviously from another century, talking and drinking and having a wonderful time." He said, "But I couldn't see them." So,
Could be echoes or something?
people that generally don't believe things are very surprised. Skeptics, they like to play tricks on skeptics and kind of show themselves, or you might hear a scream, or children are crying somewhere. They're not scary. They're quite.
Yes, the 18 men that will surround you in your bed at night and chant at you, and the random screaming from the back alleys of castles is not. It's not scary.
Friendly. I mean, I think I'd actually miss them if they were gone.
I don't know. Has she been tested for? Do we know she's not the problem here?
We had only been in the castle for a few hours, and already some strange things were happening to many of us.
We started peeling carrots, and we don't know why.
On the other side, just preparing. All of a sudden, the bag just started swinging quite dramatically like that. And at first I thought it was a cat playing with the bag, and it wasn't. It was just swinging quite happily on its own. And no one was in the kitchen. It wasn't a breeze or anything. And it was just swinging away. The cat came through the door on the other side.
The cat.
And all sort of morning it's been round my legs, playing and messing about. And all of a sudden it came in, lay quite close to the floor, ears back against its head, and wouldn't come into the kitchen at all. And then just walked off. Sat there for about 5 minutes and just didn't look happy at all and just walked off.
cats very rarely look happy, though.
Well, I was in the loo, as you do, and the lights were off.
And I was washing my makeup sponges by the sink, and I heard a click. Turned around,
Marcelle.
thought it was a light switch, but the lights didn't come on immediately, so I thought nothing of it. Then the lights did come on.
Yeah.
I said, Yvette, the lights have come on.
And I went, oh, don't be silly, Marcel, you just turned them on.
And I had, no way. I hadn't.
I believe
We went to
Marcelle.
speak to Bridget, and
she
apparently
says
that's a normal occurrence. And they like to switch themselves on. And not only that, but the loos like to flush themselves.
I won't go in there by myself.
I will never go in the loo on my own.
Oh, Marcelle's clearly just done Yvette's makeup as well. She's looking fab.
Well, I find this really funny because I just went to the loo and
As Jennifer Lopez says, ain't it funny, Jason?
I walked in, perhaps 5-6 seconds later, the door behind me slammed shut. It didn't click shut, it slammed shut. So I was thinking, right, okay, someone's playing a trick on me. So afterwards, I checked. There was no one in the whole area. Andrea was cooking in 2 or 3 rooms away. And I carried my movements again. I restructured my movements into the room to see if there was an air displacement causing the door to shut. There wasn't. Didn't do it.
Oh,
And it slammed shut.
and that ghost was Slamala Anderson. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. Oh, Jason was not kidding about the red light therapy that he was giving the ghosts, was he? Can I also, sorry, I know I've interrupted like 18 million times. This is at 6:45. I'm recording this on the 14th of May, right? Yes, I'm running a bit late this week, so. But I'm recording this on the 14th of May. It does not get dark until about 10 o'clock now. If not after that, and I just long for these days.
The top floor of the castle was reserved for the children, despite the fact that it's totally empty now. People have heard when they're downstairs the dragging of furniture and also little footsteps running up and down these corridors.
Okay, so we don't use that floor anymore.
This staircase is the scene of one of the most tragic...
This is gorge. I know she's about to tell us a tragic story, and it might be that wee girl fell and her head got squished or something. But this is lovely. I couldn't be trusted around these open flames, but yeah, this is Stungina.
accidents here at the castle. A young girl called Harriet Bury was playing here. She was sliding down the banisters when she fell to her death. Now, children that come here to play have reported seeing her, and sometimes they say she even offers them a helping hand on the stairs.
I wouldn't
Below
trust
the
her.
castle, there's a maze of tunnels and dungeons. One night, the owner heard screams and cries coming from down here, and he decided to investigate. Now, armed with just a box of matches to light the way, the screams led him to the dungeon door. And once he stepped inside, the voices finally stopped.
Now, if I lived in that castle, I know for a fact I would have my friends over and we would end up down in that dungeon. We would end up in there with our wee cameras with the night vision on, and we'd make a night of it. You couldn't get me out of that dungeon. I love spooky shit.
While we were waiting for our spiritualist medium, Derek Akora, to arrive, another member of
Oh,
our
of
crew,
course.
Carl the producer, was finding something unexplainable going on.
Carl, the producer, and Yvette's husband.
Right, through here is this door here. Now this open and shut, it didn't slam. It was
And a
just
phone
this.
rang.
I left the door open, and just when I was leaving, I heard it shut again. And I came back, and it was definitely shut, but there's no one here. Opening, shutting, opening.
Yeah.
I did it about 4 or 5 times. When I heard it shut, I came back, and it was definitely shut.
Oh, weird.
Is it?
Ah, Mr. Akora.
I am that.
This looks like Croft Manor. See the flooring? Like the checkered floor. I know it's a bit of a different pattern. And then the central stairs. I love it.
Wow.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Castle.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yes.
I suggest that we go down.
Right, I'm not... This sounds stupid. But it's quite a narrow place, actually. This isn't like Croft Manor. That is 2 staircases. I'm talking shite. But it's quite a narrow place for a castle, isn't it? Because usually, like, that front room... Maybe this isn't, like, the main hall right enough. But it's usually, like, quite open and big. And everything leads off from there. Whereas this is, like, in the door and up the stairs.
downstairs first. I think it'll give you a
I don't mean it's a small castle. I just mean it's maybe a little bit more claustrophobic. Just in case you thought I was like size shaming this castle.
good feeling about the whole place. Okay. So to do that, we need to go back down the stairs.
Okay.
Okay. Get your steps in.
As we headed downstairs, Derek was pulled towards the dungeons, and the feelings he was picking up were not good ones.
Well,
The residual energy. It's like as if I want to cry out, I want mercy, I want mercy, I want mercy, and mercy has not been given. A lot of people crammed. You see, I'm getting soldiers in the residual, and people who are cruel, very, very, very cruel.
as
There's a lot of
prisoners or
deaths that have occurred here. Not just incarceration.
Deaths.
Cruelty.
Do you mean actually here in this chamber?
Taken from this chamber, but some deaths also here. Just dragged out, just like a piece of meat. Oh! And also dismemberment as well.
Oh, God.
Dismemberment, because I'm getting the stench of that as well.
The
Coming in. This is not, this is a, as much as it can be, a hell state of torment here. A hell state of torment. This can never ever be eradicated, be taken from here.
Why?
Because the build-up and the length of time of the cruelties
It's just too much.
is too much.
Oh, my
This
lady.
would reach right the way through this castle to the highest point. I feel that the screams of the wretchedness echo from these levels quite often.
Come with me into
Okay.
lunch.
Another thing, can I say?
It was interesting that screams have been heard by the residents, but who
They were
or
no
what
sharp.
was responsible for these noises?
He's got very strong conditions here. The name O'Reilly.
Right.
And he was a nasty, cruel, beastly sort of a man. He was a
No
wretched
records.
soul. He must have been a jailer.
a jailer.
There were children here as well. There were children here. Why, Sam?
That is a thing. Like when you go to like places, like one of my favourites is Inverary Jail, which there is an episode on. I think maybe season 5. I might be talking rubbish, but we watched it before on stream. Is if the person had kids, and you know they were the only person that looked after them, they would go in with them, so they would be put in. So it's like the mum went to jail. There's no one to look after the kids. Kid got papped in with her as well. Run out and shut the door.
Why is there a priest here? Something to do with a priest.
Last right.
What sort of priest?
Without a name, it's not possible.
I feel he was a person of the cloth. Has he? Did he have a chapel? Okay. In this castle here, there's a chapel.
Okay.
A chapel somewhere. And it's hidden.
A hidden chapel?
Who? Say it again. Did he know about this? It was under his rule? Give me his name, Sam. Say it again, please. Is he active in the castle? He is. Okay.
Hidden chapel?
He either knew or he didn't know.
I'm sorry, he either knew or he didn't. Thank God you're here, Derek, because...
He knew. Okay. Charles Moore. Charles Moore.
And he's the priest.
No. Who's Charles Moore?
Okay.
He's the Earl.
The Earl
The
Charles
Earl.
Moore, okay. Easily
He knew
sourced
of the doings
information.
here.
Who are the children?
They belong to the servant woman. The servant women. The servant women.
Servant
Something
women?
to do with the servant women.
And they
The
jailed
children.
them?
And they were kept prisoner in here.
I believe they were incarcerated for some reason.
Maybe their mum stole
Were they
something.
incarcerated, Sam, or were they used? They used to come here Now, can I just say that children used to come in. I don't know if they used the children, I don't know what the use for children were, but I don't know whether when these souls who were locked away were fed, children were...
Yeah.
As servants.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't understand. Were the children incarcerated? They were used
Right.
to bring in food stuff for these wretched souls.
It's possible because children were used for a lot of jobs where they were small enough to fit in a role or something, like chimney sweeps. A famous one in west of Scotland is when they were working in mills because they could get in behind machinery and things. Maybe it's like to squeeze in through a gap that people couldn't get out of or something.
Come on out of here.
Oh, that's grim.
With cold walls and dark, shadowy corners, tales of prisoners and tormented souls, Derek was finding the atmosphere in the dungeons disturbing and disorientating. But he was determined to continue, and we moved deeper into the labyrinth of cells.
Lots of souls. This is a chamber of death here. This area needs blessing.
I swear I just heard something. Let me go back. I swear.
But he was determined to continue, and we moved deeper into the labyrinth of cells.
Lots of souls. This is a chamber of death here. This area needs blood.
I swear I heard something. Maybe it was just machinery, or maybe it was like the camera running or something. I don't know. I heard a weird noise.
Absolutely.
They died in here, though,
Yes.
they say chamber of death.
Yes.
And are the souls still here?
Oh, very much so. A lot of them.
Can you see them?
They're keeping out of view.
Yeah.
And I feel it's this O'Reilly. O'Reilly, he's trying to block my view of actually linking with these souls that are in a wretched state. Not just a blessing, it needs to be cleansed. Oh, look at this. There's a very, very strong negative force here. A very strong negative force.
Can we go through?
We can.
Yes, Jason. See, that's what we need. It's like, oh, this is messed up. Let's go.
If there's any kind of touch, please, we must come out.
Okay.
Okay? You're going to be okay, Yvette. You just come with me, okay? If you have that, come on, Jason will be with us. He's here.
She looks terrified.
You stand back. How dare you? You stand back. You can't.
Oh, poor Yvette, look at that face. I'm sorry.
He's here. Oh. You stand back. How dare you? You stand back. You can't harm us. You stand back, sir. Right, hold on.
Right, that was just a reaction.
Come on, hold on. He's nasty. He hit me with I don't know what it was. Crossed the... Boom! To me like that.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay, honestly.
Who's him? Is it the jailer, the person you were talking about
Yes,
before? Is
it's
that what you
him,
mean?
O'Reilly.
Right.
You know what this soul did?
Get in there.
So many times. He come when people were actually alive and living, and he cut them, and he dismembered them. Some of them alive. He took limbs from them, screaming.
Oh,
Do you mean for pleasure?
Yeah.
See, when people say, oh, I was born in the right time because I love video games and television and computers and all that, that's when these people, that's when they were born in the right time, that they could do that. Not that I endorse that, but I wonder if they ever thought, like, this is just, I've just got the right time. I just live in the perfect time.
Do you want to go in the middle?
Get in there. Get in that jailer hole.
You are.
We're behind you, Derek.
Okay, it's all right, right.
Good for you, Yvette.
You cannot harm me. There he goes, he's stepping back there.
Yeah, step back, whoever you are. I've got a big torch.
Evil soul. This is his place.
Upstairs. Good for you, Yvette. Womaning up.
Why is he connected to here?
I feel
Because he loved it.
he moved. Oh yes, okay, thank you, Sam. He would have moved bodies, things when he cut and dragged them through here. Absolutely empty, and just pile them up with some of them on top of each other. Spiritual light can never ever come into this essence, ever. I suppose you could call it, in that term, I can't even give the word because the way I'm feeling about it. It's just taken me back so much.
Is he gone from here now?
He's still here. Can I say to you, Yvette, Jason, on our arrival, I saw out from the castle along the lanes these shacks, yeah, and I saw a few people. They looked very, very, very bedraggled and very, very poor and what have you. And a lot of those souls from out there were brought here.
Why were they brought here?
I don't know, Jason. I keep on asking why. But a lot of them found themselves in these, what can you call them? Hell state.
Sales.
In all my time that I've been working with Spirit OK, this is the most concentrated evil force of a level I've come across down here.
Why, can I ask you a question? Why do you say that when I've been with you to other places where people have been jailed and tortured?
Yes.
Why is this one so much more concentrated than those places?
Because of the sheer volume of people that were incarcerated here. The sheer volume. They were hoarding here like cattle.
So
People really could be jailed for anything back then, like 1700s and all that. It was like, oh, you've failed to do the labor that we've assigned you for no pay, jail. You looked at someone of a higher class the wrong way, jail. So
as far as living conditions,
we weren't really
breathing
about
and
the
what
human
have you,
rights,
the
were they?
concentration of bodies and what have you, it would have made the atmosphere so stagnant, the poor souls wouldn't have been able to breathe properly whilst they're still in the physical body, apart from the starvations. And if they cried out for food and what have you, suddenly to get their arm or their leg locked off by this evil force of a man.
Oh no!
Really big. He was a freak. He was big in stature for his time. Whereas the other people, a lot of them were of small stature. He towered over them.
He was just tall, Derek.
Bright red hair, this man. Bright red hair.
Can we
Okay, so bearing in mind we're at a castle in Ireland, Derek has now identified the jailer, who was a giant freak with red hair. Just something to consider.
get out of here?
Yeah. Yes. I'd like to, actually.
Can
These feelings are not good here.
We left the dungeons of Charlehill Forest
quite
Castle
stale.
and moved on. I wanted Derek to visit the staircase. Would he pick up on the little girl?
1 in the morning
I'm being
already?
made aware of movement up and down.
Sorry, Yvette really does have a big torch. That was an industrial, what were they called, maglite or something?
Who is he? Bear with me with this now. There's a man called Charles William. Charles William Berry. Berry.
Okay.
He walks these stairs.
Is that why it's called Charleville?
His history or the link with this man, with this building, with this castle. Very, very strong influence with this man. A very strong.
An influencer.
Appears he was very, very important in his time.
Right.
I feel.
I see. I'm not...
No, there's a man. I can see a man here. Okay, that's better, Sam. Encouraging. Okay, there's a spirit person, a man here.
Careful.
I'll just. Are you okay, Yvette? If you. Okay.
Oh, this is all
he's
battered,
moving
isn't
that to
it?
there. Can I? I'll just describe him as I'm actually seeing him.
Again, do you see what I mean? That it's very narrow for a castle. When you think castle, you think that it's big and spacious and high ceilings. And I mean, I'm not saying that, oh, my house is this size. You could fit my entire house probably in this room that they're in. But it is a lot more claustrophobic than you would kind of think.
This is not a tall man. Yeah. To my hands. He's right there. He's there. He's so tall. And, you know, he's got a white, curled, like, wig. A wig.
A wig.
And...
complete with wig.
He's got a longish, cutaway coat, and it's ribbed like cream and red, and the buttons are cloth, and the jacket's to here. They're not trousers, they're like
jorts.
Call them like a dark blacky grey stockinette type.
A drag queen. A drag queen.
I'm sorry, a stockinette. I need to. A stockinette. Oh, here she goes, right. Let me Google what a stockinette is, because I can't wait till I'll have forgotten by the end of the episode to go back and look. Right, so a stockinette stitch, or stockinette, okay. It seems to be a stitch. Let me check stockingette. Maybe use just search and it's coming up with a type of stitch. Detailed tutorial for a stockinette stitch on Reddit. Stitches. So maybe just like a style. I don't know. Derek, I don't know what you're talking about, but
here to the legs and the buckle shoe. Now, this man, he's standing with his hands like this, okay, portly, and this wig, and noble thoughts with this man.
Right.
I feel. Ale.
He's got his wig and stockings.
Ale.
And
Sam keeps on saying ale. He's the one that walks these stairs. Up and down. Goes right to the top wherever that goes to.
Do you want to go up this?
Can we please?
Yeah.
Yes.
Up you go.
I'd like to do that.
So Derek had not picked up on the little girl who had tragically died on the staircase. However, her father, Charles William Bury, not Berry, was coming through strongly.
Charles William Bury, not Berry. Okay.
We were walking all the passages and rooms of the castle. Derek had led us from the dungeons up the vast main staircase and now to the highest battlements. He was following a spirit presence, but who was it?
I was going to say this looks either like a servant's entrance or some sort of military thing because of the way the stairs are. I don't know if you know, but I found this very interesting once. I can't remember where it was. I learned this, but you find that a lot of old, like, maiden type shows, a lot of castles and battlements and stuff have these like really narrow stairs because it's easier if someone's breaching and coming up the stairs to try and take over. It's easier to have an advantage if they're struggling to actually get up because you can basically kill them and like force them back down. Also, the servants' entrance, they always had like really narrow steps, basically because it was just how they could make it the least space possible and less of an inconvenience for the owners.
For some reason, this priest type figure, but I can't get to the bottom of it because that keeps him blocking me. It's blocking me. It's a priest. It's a person that was of the cloth, but not a conventional priest. I can't really make it out.
Can you see what he looks like? Could you describe his appearance?
Yes, well, to a degree I can. He's not unlike a monk, really. You know, in look. He's got the hood.
The lady did say that this used to be was it a learning space for monks?
And he's, there's something wrong about him.
What sort of, is it like a brown habit then that a monk
Yes,
would wear?
like that, like a habit. But I've not got brown, I've got grey with this. Grey. And
My
this
torch just vibrated all on its own.
Yeah, this person has facial hair.
Right.
Can we not ignore a bit, please?
He was also not a good figure, not a good...
I'm sorry. That's pissed me off. My torch just vibrated on. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. I only know this script if I run it right through Yvette.
So.
Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
This torch just vibrated all on its own. The torch doesn't vibrate.
What, violently?
Well, like a buzzing. The whole thing buzzed.
Does it do that if the battery gets low?
Oh.
No.
Sorry, someone just needs to do this to Derek's hair. He said this one flyaway bit the whole episode, and he just needs. But he's looking at Yvette as if, okay, and what? Your torch vibe, okay.
Could be his essence, you know, doing
I was
this.
like that, and the whole thing went zzz.
It could be his essence doing this, Yvette.
Do you want me to hold it?
Well, I'm not scared, no, but it was just bizarre.
Verify it though.
This person walks here. Often.
This priest?
Yeah. Often.
Is he connected to the castle then?
Yes, he is.
Why is he still here?
Because I feel he hasn't rightfully gone into the world of spirit because he, to the people in the outside world, he was supposed to be one type of figure of the links with religion. But he had, his personality was doing the opposite of what he should be.
Church
just
scandal.
Not a good person at all.
Can I make a suggestion? Do you think it's a good time now to go and sit in the library room and get ready for the séance?
Yes, I do.
I will also remind us of the time that Derek told us about the lovely monk man, or whoever he was, the lovely religious person who was a great person because he murdered all these witches. So, I don't know what Derek's definition of good and bad is, but this might just be the same type of person that he saw before.
Yeah, because I think maybe more things have become clear.
Yes.
And
Yeah, possibly
Shall
they
we do
will.
that?
Yes,
let's
please.
head on
Looking
down
forward to
and
that.
do that.
Yes, please.
God,
Oh,
it's
Jason's
just-
very excited about this, isn't he? That little...
According to the Victorians who first introduced seances, objects such as bells and candles were used to entice spirits into the room. A mirror was often used as it was believed to be a portal into the next world and a place for spirits to enter ours.
Okay, so first of all, everybody, we can join our hands.
Marcelle's here! Oh, great. Although, don't Victorians just made anything up, didn't they?
And the reason we do this, although it looks quite peculiar and dramatic, it's not. The reason we do it is, in the heyday of spiritualism, people used to commit fraud and to eradicate or reduce the possibility of people doing things with their hands in the dark and making things move. You all hold hands so we know the person next to us isn't doing anything with their hands. And also, it's supposedly a way of energy moving around the circle. So in a minute, if everyone shuts their eyes after finish talking and tries and thinks, try to clear your mind. But don't try and think of nothing, because nothing is something itself, nothing is a thought. So try and see white light. And the theory has it that we can move energy around the circle. So if you can imagine receiving energy from the finger on the person on your left and passing through your body to the person on your right, and if you visualise the energy moving around the circle, getting faster and faster and stronger and stronger, sort of white energy light, that's what the psychics and mediums say, so we'll see if anything happens.
Can I just ask a question?
Why is he so low down?
Where does seance come from? How did it start?
Well, seances really started way well long time ago, in 1848, in fact, in Hydesville in the United States of America, where two sisters of Fox sisters lived, and they were one day messing around talking to ghosts and asking for knocks, and they actually got them. And this became a bit of a parlour trick, and people used to come and watch them doing it, and it continued to happen. And it grew from there, people asking for the same thing, and that's really how spiritualism and the spiritualism movement began, and it crossed over overseas, and now it's a mainstream religion.
You've got bell in front of you as well. Are you going to be using that one? What's
Oh, okay.
there for?
We've got a couple of different things in the room. This bell again, it's only theory, of course, it's not something which can be proved, but psychic.
I just have to say about that. Why is that my catchphrase? I have to say, there's something about Belle I just love. I don't know what it is, but there's just something to me about, like, see if you're just like in it, just ding a little bell, just it clears like the air, clears the energy out. I don't know why. I just quite like the idea of having like a dainty, nice little bell like this. Probably a little bit more ornamental than that. And just like, oh, I just need to reset. Ding! And then we go.
Mediums and people involved in New Age practices say that bell also attracts spirits. So during the seance, I will ring the bell and ask for spirits to join us in the room. We've also got, over above the fireplace, a mirror with a candle in front of it, because a lot of people who've had ghostly experiences said it's been by candlelight with mirrors, and mirrors are supposed to be a sort of dimension portal between our world and the next world, if you believe in things like that. So watch out for the mirror because it's coming through, okay? So we all close our eyes now, and as I said before, try and visualise the white energy moving around the room from left to right. And if anybody experiences anything at all, however mild or slight, please say. We're not going to jump around and say what's a ghost, but just say what you're experiencing at the time, okay? Because often people say afterwards what they've experienced. Please say at the time, whether that's a touch or whatever. Okay, if there are any spirits in the room or in the castle who wish to contact any member of the circle sat here in the library, please give us a sign that you are here. Use our collective energy in order to manifest. Or create some kind of sign that you are here. Now, if anybody does receive what they believe to be an indication of something present, please tell me.
That head thing again's happening with me.
What head thing?
My head's been really hot again. Like pins and needles on top of my head.
Like
She's had that a few
And
times.
there's like burning. Do you remember?
Heat. You've had that before, didn't
Yes,
you,
I
Marcelle?
did.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Not in seance.
I've not experienced it today at all.
I'm going to try ringing the bell, guys. If I don't know how to use hands. I'm not quite sure how I'm supposed to do this, but if there's any spirit here, please come into the room and give us a sign that you are here. Please give us a sign that you are here.
See, that would get me right in as a ghost. Ding the bell back at him.
If there are any spirits in the room or in the castle who wish to contact any member of the circle sat here in the library, please give us a sign that you are here. If you can give us a sign... Oh, that's not... I'm not just saying that something tickled my ear. It was here. It was like
his ear?
It was like that. That was really strange. Sorry about that. Okay, let's get back to some...
Interesting as well, because he's the one doing the calling out.
If there's any spirit here, please come into the room and give us a sign that you're here. No, that's quite odd. Quick, take a count that candle. Because I know candles do that, but it's as I was doing that candle actually was burning like there was a wind. And all the others aren't doing it. All there was a dead calm, so there's no breeze in this room.
Oh, interesting.
No, I'll be honest with you, there's no breeze whatsoever. There's nothing here, put your hand up here, there's nothing at all. No, there isn't, not a sausage, not even, not anything.
With Jason experiencing something tickling his ear and a candle that nearly went out, our Victorian séance had come to an interesting end.
Okay.
It was time to cover as much of the castle as we could, and to do this, we had to split into small groups.
up.
Rick and Carl, the producer, went to investigate the dungeons, and Jason...
Do not trust those two together at all. I do not. I think they need to be like at school, you know, like you had the kids that weren't allowed to sit next to each other. I think that's what we need here. We need them to be kept separate.
Jason and
for
myself went
science.
upstairs. Without my knowledge, Jason was leading me to an experiment that had been set up earlier, and I was to be the guinea pig.
How do you feel?
Frightened.
Do you?
Yes, how do you feel?
Excited.
Did you playing a trick or something? Yvette, I'm going to push you down the stairs and see if you meet the little girl.
My heart is pounding.
You're all right, don't worry.
And if something fell now...
I know.
Oh, that's not nice! Jason! Please, I'm so scared.
It's all right.
A wall had moved on its own, or so I thought. It was Rick and Carl pushing a false wall from the other side, and the experiment got the desired effect.
We basically set this up to see how much disbelief you can actually make the human mind go through, because obviously the wall can't move, ghosts can't move a wall, but in a place like this, your belief in what's rational, what's not changes.
I knew it was a trick as soon as afterwards when I got...
Yeah, what was that? That wasn't an experiment. What was that testing? You have an initial reaction, you have an emotional reaction to, I think, pretty much everything, don't you? But when like tensions are high, you're going to freak out and then go, hang on, that can't happen. Walls can't move. Jason, you're in my bad books for that one. I'm not a fan of that.
And then I thought, oh, it's okay, it's not real.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see, because in a place like this where you're expecting things to happen, the human mind isn't rational, and that's
and
important to remember.
Cruel. You're really, really
But it's
cruel,
great
and I'm
fun.
not happy about it.
As my nerves had already been tested,
I have to say, if it wasn't Jason, I would be more annoyed.
Rick and Carl were the lucky ones who had to investigate the dungeons. This was the place where Derek had supposedly been
I
hit on
would
the arm
love
by a
that.
bad-tempered spirit.
Right, here we go. Volunteering my services again. If anyone wants to fly me out to this castle to be part of a ghost investigation, I will spend the night in the dungeons. You can lock me in and then let me out again in the morning, and I will let you know what's happened. I just love it.
Shall we brave and just go to stand in the middle of the rainbow colours?
I'll tell you what, here we go. We both have to take turns in going and standing through that black void, yeah?
Okay.
And just standing there.
I think as long as you could do what they've done, right? So see if you can go through beforehand and like do a walkthrough and say, okay, there's definitely no one in here. There's nothing in here that's going to like get me. You could go in there quite confidently. You might be terrified. I'm not saying if you locked me in there overnight, I wouldn't be absolutely crapping my pants. But I think you could kind of put a lot of it out of your mind. Like, okay, well, I've been here. There was nothing there when the lights were on or when we investigated before. So
You're not letting go of this.
I'm not letting go of that.
Go on.
No, I'm taking it. You will see if it goes up.
The first sign, I will shine it on for you, I promise you.
well, he has to get in safely.
Hold on. Don't flick it yet. It's pitch black.
Yeah, it's underground.
Something's just tickled my hair. Where, in here? Yeah, something's just tickled my hair.
So the big, tall, ginger freak of a jailer has horrible and whack Derek with a stick or something like that has gone in and gone.
Oh, I don't want to stay in it.
Whereabouts was it? Whereabouts were you?
Just walk straight.
Again, saying this from my comfortable, well-lit room at what we know is a time that is not dark because I've just moaned about that earlier.
Oh, God, that's awful. It's very scary.
With Rick seeing Derek being hurt earlier in the same place, was he expecting anything to happen? Had something touched him, or was it his imagination? In one of the rooms upstairs, Jason and I heard a tapping sound. Listen carefully.
Oh, did you hear that?
Yes, what is it?
Did you hear that in there?
Yes,
that tap? Shall we go and investigate?
Oh, God.
This whole time, if I was Yvette, though, I'd be like, Jason, this is you. Jason, you're doing something. This is another test. I don't believe you.
I did hear that noise there, did you?
Yeah.
And we haven't heard any of the noises here. We're in the middle of nowhere. It's dead silent.
Dead silent.
See if we hear another noise from there. If we do, we'll go and investigate.
Charles?
No, don't. Oh, God, please.
If you're here, Charles, if it was you earlier on during the séance who touched my ear, then please give me another sign that you're here.
Come on, let's have a look in here. This looks a bit foreboding, doesn't it?
This is unbelievable.
What the heck's there?
Did you see that?
As Rick and Carl were entering an outbuilding, they heard a noise that sounded like furniture being moved. But when they went inside, all was quiet. Jason and I had decided to sit quietly on the stairs and see if we could catch anything paranormal on camera. Would the little girl Harriet, who died on the stairs, make something happen?
Harriet, if you're here...
Throw yourself down the stairs.
and you'd like to talk to us, or communicate with us, or play...
Your child.
If you could give us some footsteps, or movement, or something. Do you know what I am getting? I've had it upstairs as well. I'm keeping really short of breath. Just to breathe normally. It's like an effort to breathe, and it's not the way I'm sat, because I had that when I started upstairs after that tapping noise.
Disease.
What's that there? Come quick.
Wait for me. After hearing what sounded like the door at the bottom of the stairs opening and shutting, we went to have a look, only to discover there was no one there.
Okay, well, we both just... Did you hear it?
Yes,
It'd be
I
on the
did.
camera, that was loud.
Yes.
It was like, I don't know, what would be like a clicking noise or something.
Yes. Is that somebody was touching the door?
Yeah.
Trying to open the door.
The residents at Charlehill Castle hear ghostly noises all the time, and we were experiencing similar things: doors banging, touches, and tapping noises. Our investigation was definitely interesting, and even though nothing ghostly materialised, most of us had experienced some strange goings-on that are definitely unexplainable.
And it's the morning. They survived the night.
I did have several unusual things happen to me here, and from other people's point of view, they might have said that the ghosts were picking on me. Now, I don't agree with that, but there were some odd things that happened that I can't explain, and I did feel a sense of, I don't quite know what's going on here, and I did feel a little bit, not out of my depth, but as if there was more going on than I could understand.
When I walked into a certain area, the mental pictures and also the pickup on the residual energy of that atmosphere was such a vile way of people being incarcerated. And the interesting thing about it is the pictures that I was actually seeing mentally were most certainly genuine, and yet, on record, it would not be so, because it was covered up.
Okay.
It was covered up.
Once again, as we've had in lots of other locations, some of the crew have had different experiences of things touching their head. What's interesting, I think, is when they sort of corroborate each other. For example, one of the things that happened to me was a door slammed, and I eradicated any natural cause that I could see for that. And then later on, Yvette and Marcelle had a strange experience in the same room where my door had slammed. So that's interesting, where things are happening in the same place. But there again, you could say auto-suggestion. They knew I had an odd experience, and that's why they did. Who knows?
Who knows?
Well, that has to be the biggest castle I think we've stayed
Yvette?
24 hours in, and it certainly had its spooky moments, and I can assure you we'll have plenty more on our next location. In the meantime, sleep tight.
She gave us a sleep tight. Well, that was quite a fun episode. I quite enjoyed that, although not a lot happened. Yvette said nothing materialised. There was enough in there that I think that you could say, oh, I would like to see more of that. Do you know what I mean? Like, we never saw any dancing legs like we've allegedly seen before. But also it didn't feel forced, which I quite liked. Derek's bit was obviously unproven and there wasn't really much to go on there. But I definitely think, see, when you see the room that he was standing in, saying, yes, this was an absolute hellhole type prison. From looking at it, you could, yeah, I kind of see that. Like, okay, he's probably not too off the mark there. So I was quite excited at that stuff. Would love to go and be able to see it myself, but I don't know if you can. So I did a quick little Google of it, just in the 2 seconds it took me to get here, and what happened was, so at the start the person explained how it was in disrepair, and you know, the like ceiling was all letting in rain. So it was started being repaired in the 1970s, or restored in the 1970s, and I don't know if she would have been part of whoever it was that was doing it, but I think it's still continuing. So from the looks of it, it's continuing to be upgraded or restored, I should say, restored by people who, by craftspeople who have the skills to replicate that type of work, which must be very niche and very expensive. But I think that's quite exciting. I would love to see some kind of episode or something where they go back, or someone goes back to see kind of what it looks like now. And I would love to get into the dungeon. Is that weird? Am I really weird? I just think if anything's going to happen, most likely in that creepy, dark dungeon. I don't know if I'd want to go into it myself, but I would definitely be up for more exploration. But let me know what you think. I was quite happy with that episode. It was a good location. We had some good Jason verified events taking place and happening, which I'm always a fan of. Could have probably just used a wee bit more Marcelle, couldn't it? But I am biased. So thank you so much for joining me. Let me know what you thought of the episode, what your kind of favourite bits or what you didn't like in this one. I'm still amazed that people could come over and buy a castle. But anyway, until next time, which will be the final episode of season 1, sleep tight.